eti for mama kwa ba eba daily update TV so send daily kind and our channel so make sure we tap on the subscribe button so edi mama na fin so tap on the notification bell on send every also sabiti maka all the new update edi to channel so mo hune ko sangana in politics ma esa should be several ko should video so we like it na wa share dem na so wa dwuntwe bi edi fa video ho a we be comment section ye beji ne akenkan enso so edi ma sa me yam no de ka say de ye hwe eye journalist Ahmed Suale ni murder case and a court attorney general had discontinue case no some me am no de say adia enkofu bi din apie e sa case ni ma chese oye asem kese persisi hwe ni pa na private legal practitioner Martin Pube adia ono audit nsembia to dwa efasa case no ane the previous administration enioma omoye ya like almost say it had a connection with the murder case yensem mede impesi ekuti infu Martin Pube eho TV3 enso
and Agongo's narratives as a lecturer he tends to also back his argument with theories and could there be any correlation knowing that there's a certain culture of you not being able to express yourself without getting any retributive reaction within the period of the MPP administration, ultimately culminating in a key political stakeholder, a member of parliament, subsequently intending to become a presidential candidate of the governing party at the time, making these inferences, making these gestures. Of course, no evidence has been adduced that he was responsible for it. At the end of the day, could influence opinion or not. Mr. Kpebu.
Yes, good morning. Yes, morning.
And I do understand from Beatrice, who is a legal practitioner as well, says discharge is not acquittal. So it means that the AG can reopen this case anytime, right?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, under our law, that is it. If a person is discharged simpliciter, then it means that the case has not been dealt with on its merits. That is simply put, the court go into the case proper. The court didn't investigate the case, right? Sometimes, yes, the investigations can begin, but it doesn't get to the point where I call it point of no return. If it doesn't get to that point, maybe you can even call 5, 7 witnesses. But if the prosecution has not closed this case and the case has to come to an end, they will still say discharge, meaning that the court hasn't gotten to that threshold. But if, let's say, the prosecution closes this case, that one, they cannot say discharge. Of course, there's always a right to enter nolle prosequi before the judge rules. But that's not what we are dealing with here. Just to keep it simple here, the court has not gone into the merits of the case. The court has not listened to the witnesses. There are people who said it is Mr. Akroma who was behind it. The court has not heard them. So once the court has not heard them and has to cancel the case, the AG said that they will cancel the case because of the insufficient evidence. Then that's it. Anytime they find the right evidence, they can return, and then the case will be heard.
All right. Now, subsequently, there's been a big debate on the platform, right here, I mean, whether it's from Jabunti Zato, PhD, to Beatrice, to Solomon, a pointed debate about whether there was a culture of strangulation in relation to how to air your own opinion in the environment which was governed by the MPP in the last administration. What's your own take on that before I let you go?
Oh, that one, let me use this legal term, but we like using it colloquially. We say res ipsa. Res ipsa, meaning the matter speaks for itself. It's the MPP that have to come and explain. No, it was so rampant. It was obvious that we're living under a culture of silence. I remember even Sam Jonah had to come in. You know, when the culture of silence was getting to its peak, Sam Jonah had to come in. And then, you know, it erupted another round of discussions and debates here and there. Sam Jonah, yes, he came in and delivered a speech and said, look, he sees the return of the culture of silence, okay? And generally, a lot of people spoke up. You remember, so me, today, as I said, you know, every Saturday when I appear on the key points, Saturday morning on TV3, I single out a few people and then allow them for speaking out when we had a culture of silence. I usually mention Sophie Kufu, the former Chief Justice, whom I have nicknamed the Asantua. Then we named Dom Ahini. He used to also speak, notwithstanding that he's a chief, he used to speak against the ills in the Kufu-Addo government. Then we mentioned Tobe Afede, the chief Awumefia of Asogli State, Agbogbo of Asogli State, etc. You say, and then Kentucky Teku the second, also asking for justice in the Cecilia Adapa matter. Cecilia Adapa, who had millions of dollars and Ghana cedis in her home, that she cannot explain how she got that money, right? So there was a culture of silence. And if we want to be scientific, earlier on you referred to the Press Freedom Index. As far as I can remember, for the 8 years that Akufo-Addo was in government, it's only 2 years that he did well compared to the previous JEA Mills and John Mahama administration. Yes, you can check the record. For the 8 years, what his best year was 2018. That was when we even celebrated the World Press Freedom Day in Ghana. We were #1 in Africa, I think, for that year, 2018. And that was it. After that, you know, Ahmed Suale died in 2019. And then we went down,
But Mr. Kpebu, within the MPP period, you were talking left, right, center. Nobody stopped you.
Yes, I'm coming to that. But you know, my name is Kpebu. You understand what Kpebu means. The spirits are different. The spirits are different, you know. So when you have a few people, so you see, the spirits, when I say the spirits are different, so I'm a man of courage, extra courage. But the average man didn't find that space. It had to take people of extraordinary courage.
Okay.
So that's not freedom of speech. There's a culture of silence.
All right, thank you.
It's when the average man can speak, then you say, yes, there's freedom of speech.
Thank you. Mr. Kpebu, I wish you all the best for the day.
You're welcome.
Fantastic man so far. And Beatrice, the Trade Union Congress, they are on government's case.
But I think you should oblige me.
Yes, but I'll ask the question. The Trade Union Congress is on the case of government. They say just like they did for...
With certain specific. You see, nobody must attempt to paint the Akufo-Addo administration as being holier than thou in these circumstances.
You mean somebody's trying to whitewash them?
Ďato was trying to do that. They were worse. Under this circle, they were worse, so worse.
How did you come to those conclusions?
Look, under Akufo-Addo's administration, you dared not even speak about the president. You will be arrested. You remember Bulldog?
Bulldog.
He was arrested. Manasseh Azuri had to run for his dear life, run away from this country. Why not in this country? Look,
Manasseh Azuri.
Azuri had to run away. Erastus Asaredonko. He has been doing all this galamsey, what do you call it? Exposés. Go and ask him the sort of threats he received under the New Patriotic Party. Look, pundits, panelists, they were doing a program on UTV, United Television. There was an entertainment program on Saturday. We had NPP youth who invaded a live show to scatter everything. Why not in this country? Why not in this country? So when we are saying some of these things, we must not try to enter into the realm of politics. The institutions must work. You see, I've had a problem with some of these investigations. Remember in 2007, Samuel Lenin, he was the president of the Ashanti region, GJ. He was murdered in cold blood like that.
Samuel Lenin.
Lenin. Like joke. As we speak, we don't even know the perpetrators of this act. I find it very disturbing that in this country that everybody is a gossiper. That whatever you do, they will gossip. I've told you that if you take out Ethiopia, we are the next gossip, a country that gossips than any country.
They are gossips, yeah.
So how wouldn't you be able to apprehend the culprits?
So you're saying it's substantive.
Yes.
Question. Do you think there was a culture of silence or there was a siege atmosphere?
Yes.
in your ability to be able to express yourself.
Yes.
Whether you're a journalist or a public speaker, etc., within the last administration.
No, there was
comparable to this.
There was a huge one. Even within the parties, remember 80 people or 88 people said that the former finance minister had to be booted out of office. Go and ask what happened to them. Haven't you heard Andy Appiah say there was an attempt to poison him?
95.
They moved
Then peace.
Then peace. Within their own party.
Your former party.
I've left, so now I don't want to. You want to refer me as former party, that tomorrow my party is coming. Please cease referring me to former party. I have moved on.
I apologize.
But the truth of the matter is that I wasn't safe. That is why most of the men in that party became timid, became women in that party. And so when I hear them speak today, some of them speak today, I cringe. I say, where were you in the last 8 years? Look, in the last 8 years, a journalist by name Bismarck Brown, they organized Meet the Press at the Jubilee House. This guy, think he was doing his journalistic business as usual, went and asked a fundamental question about the Ministry of Health. He was hunted out of where he was working. Later on, he found himself hopping from one radio station to the other in Kumasi. Go and see, listen to what happened to the family. Things have happened in this country.
Bismarck Brown.
Bismarck Brown, you can call him. BB. Because the president of the day didn't like the sort of question that was asked. And as though the questions were already planted to journalists, that question became a strange question per arrangement. So the president was like, how can you, who are you to come and ask that question? After that, working with a thinker, he suffered. So the truth of the matter is that it has not been better, but we have to improve upon it. We need to cause our police institution to be professional. They know the killers, and I still insist they know them. If they were able to identify a corpse, a dead body that was buried beneath the earth without their knowledge, then they have no business telling me that they do not know the killers of Ahmed Suale, especially when we are told by our witness that even the guy that shot, he had to do a kissing, a goodbye kiss to the dead body. Haven't you read their report?
You mean shot and then?
Yes, he said shot and then. I have never seen someone before that the guy is so happy that he has been able to kill a human being. It means there could be vivid description of the culprit. So how did they get it wrong by going to arrest a wrong culprit when you have the image of the person that has been described? Are you trying to throw dust into the eyes of the people? So they have to come again. I'm not too sure this ends the case. They must rather go back, do what is right. The police administration must speak the truth. Tell us who was behind it, and not just that. Any murder that happens in this country, it must not affect big fishes in society, but any ordinary person or people that we consider as non-entities, they must be of interest to the people, so that everyone can be working in this country with confidence, not fearing anything that happens.
Because nobody is about.
Etiyo for me da mo nyina sesa mo Ďｒaġ na mo de hwe bi de na chese Martin Pube private legal practitioner and amotening and Solomon Wusu from movement for change na modern stem chuchu mu akoso na chese ye the previous administration na say the last 8 years atwam na enioma akoso ewo mining pa but because of send nipa intimi nkasanti na chese ye hwe ma chese enioma na ekoso sam. Se wutie Martin Pube Attorney General or discontinue journalist ni case no, it doesn't mean say case ni intimi European. Ibi who say omo the case ni ekọ court any enough evidence omo de bebo sam na ya wa discontinue case no obetimi anya bre e dey akopem more evidence about the support case ni until use statement be say discharge does not mean acquittal, which is say anytime and as any point in time bia case na nasa Ahmed Suale in the case ni we betimi opin na fi abranti no so enya a justice a wo deserve because untimi nkum obi na onfa ho enkudi ekwa se utie Martin Pube pa in the previous administration and in the last 8 years na ya dia Ghana for ye nyina ye kan ya no tum obi a intimi nkasa so say ono ko ani the only person because of Nidini ye different from a man for this routine ya ono onya like extraordinary courage say on what the bekasa wanya ti se nkofo na they chicken out na ye hwese nyama wrong things na enkoso no ɔno nti na no wotimi ba bonten e kasa na but see how the yenya a new administration which is the NDC and John Dramani ɔno ɔma freedom of speech so see we are no more in the culture of silence na Danko Akufo-Addo ene ni MPP aban e de Ghana fo kuma oke kasa ne amaya becho ɔno a ne nkofo kora ko bi o ma no ka ni ma boni ana e koso e o party ni ma na chese omo pese omo poison omo ekumbi maybe so survive na chese he esa so omo pese obewudi a na ne wodo wani ahwe ni ma boni ana omo ye na what na hobi how they save you our life chese eno so ni sema omo de tudwa eti for me do be sia so adwenkyere bia refa video ho a me so be comment section e dia ma nti sa me de macro bye bye.